Hi, welcome to another video from I Am Irish Academy of Mediumship. A question that comes to me every so often by different people: what's the difference between a psychic and a medium? Very simply, a psychic is to do with the physical world. We pick up energy from the room we're in, people around us, holding an object. We've picked that up on that very basic level. That's there, and with a medium we connect into the spirit world, and we see, hear and feel the presence of souls that have passed on into the next life. A very simple principle is every medium is psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. And what I mean by that is that some people only have the capability to feel and be aware of the energy within this world. And from my understanding, from talking to other mediums, tutors, talking to spirit about it as well, mediums are born, and it's just a faculty. I personally believe it's maybe to do with maybe someone's soul growth. I don't know yet. I don't know, have the definitive answer with that. Has someone already achieved a level of awareness for that to be a process capable of their experiences? Basically, they all work within the areas of the senses, the six senses, as it's not commonly known as, but it's many faculties, many senses that are replicant of the physical senses: sight, clairvoyance, clairaudience, hearing, and clairsentience, feeling. There are three main ones that are mostly focused on. There's also claircognizance, or clear thought as well, and it's just when thoughts just drop in. People might say, I don't know why I'm saying this, but so because they're not feeling, they're not seeing, and they're not hearing, they just know. And that's another factor there. So that's the fourth one. Another two which you kind of don't hear of too often is clairgustance and clairalience. So that's taste and smell. So when a medium is working, particularly, that you can get a taste of a particular favourite food, or belonging to a person has passed. Now that's only a general thing, but it can be a relevant piece of information at times. Sometimes it can actually be the taste of blood. They can, if it make you squeamish, but you're aware of that like metal taste in the mouth as well, and that's normally to do with a blood disorder as well. So people pick that up, mediums pick that up in different ways, but that would what that would mean for me when I get that sensation, that awareness. But on a psychic level, going back to that, people say, "Oh, I feel the atmosphere in the room. The place is electric." Or you're buying a house and you walk in, "Now this doesn't feel right for me." Well, that's on a psychic level. You're using that basic intuitive nature of picking up the energy, the vibration within a building. Now, I know that plenty of naysayers will say it's a load of baloney, but they're also use the expression, "Oh, the place was electric. You can feel the atmosphere at the concert." How are you feeling that? You're not touching it. It's not tangible with that. You say the place is electric. Well, how? There's obviously something that's there within you that's feeling that atmosphere that's there. You can cut the atmosphere a knife. You go into a room when there's been an argument. How do you know that? You haven't been in there before. You just feel a heaviness of the atmosphere within a room that's there. And trial and error and practicing it, you get to see that actually gets more and more fine tuned. That push into that environment, push into that energy you're aware of, and you begin to maybe find out what went on, what exactly went on in a room then, in that day or in the previous time. But a medium goes into that, uses those same senses to really feel the presence of another soul stand with them. And so the clairsentience, you really feel into that soul's energy, that I become more aware of a condition that they passed off. Not my physical body is affected, but my spirit body, the etheric aspect of me. I become aware of a different cancerous conditions as well. My energy, my mind is drawn to different parts of my body, depending on the communicator when it comes to those conditions. Sometimes they're very rare and unusual aspects. A spirit once said to me before, I was literally just jumped out my skin. Well, one gentleman said that, and turns out he was actually hit by a bolt of lightning. So he was, is his way of saying it, he was thrown out of the skin, and that's how he passed. Very, very unusual. So it's like all these different ways we feel that. If I was to feel that aspect and not hear him say those, that he was jumped out of his skin, I might feel, if it makes sense, that I was beside myself. And so I jumped out of my skin for a moment. And they can make you feel those impressions like that. It's only when you practice that and become more and more disciplined in understanding these things. Trial an area, maybe just aware you're drawn to your stomach area, but not too sure what. Is a stomach cancer? Is it an ulcer? Is it? You have to push into that and really let the spirit guide you with that aspect. The words will come to you as you get more and more used to it as well. And more conditions that you come across in your practice and development, that you become like little guideposts in your mind will click into place. Oh yeah, I got that before, and that's what it means now again. If I feel a shooting pain going down my left arm, I know I'm talking about a stroke. If I feel it coming up my left arm and down to my chest, I know I'm talking about a heart attack. If I feel it's here, this area here, I know I'm talking about lymph nodes, leukemia, and that type of way when I feel the energy, my awareness focused on that. So you get to experience that, and that's through your clairsentience. You become more and more aware of it. And through the clairvoyance then, with mediumship, I would see a gentleman stand there in front of me. Now, that works in two ways. A subjective way, so as I can see in them as an impression within my mind, stand there, and I'm aware of the features coming to mind. Like you reminisce of a memory of someone that you know. You can still see the features of that person's face within your mind, for a split moment as well. You go through your memories, as we all do. But this face is not someone that you know. You've never physically met. Um, and they put that impression that's there through your clairvoyance. But when you see that in an objective way, I literally would see someone stand in front of me in spirit, like the way I'm seeing a physical person. Only difference is they're slightly translucent. Now, if you don't experience that, it's very easy to dismiss it. But when you actually see them stand there in front of you, to begin with, it might look like a grey shadow. Some people, naturally, that's the way it is, and they might feel fearful of it to begin with, and that's completely unnatural because it's different. Totally out of the blue as well. But gradually, as you put power into your clairvoyance and in an objective way, that builds. The grey shadow, the dark shadow becomes a white shadow, a silhouette, and eventually the features begin to become more and more pronounced. And then that becomes even more colour as well. And over time, it can develop into full form, almost like they are apparitions in a sense that's there. You're seeing them stand there right in front of you. I know friends, mediums that do see spirit in a very objective way, see them like they see every living person physically. They see them in the spirit form exactly the same way as well. I've had moments like that. It's very strange seeing a disembodied arm from fingers to elbow doing this in front of me as we're all singing away, building energy. And turns out the gentleman that I was aware of was a father of the gentleman sitting beside me. And the gentleman, his father in spirit, was actually a music teacher. So he was conducting us in song by waving his arm about. So that backed up for me then what I experienced. Because just because I do this doesn't mean I accept it totally. I want to experience more and more. So when you get the clairaudience, exactly the same way. Subjectively, it's like I'm hearing them speak within my mind, but the grammar, the way the words are pronounced, the sentence structure, and that, it's different from the way I would normally think. If in your silence of your own mind, you hear your own thoughts, you hear like your own voice in your head, and you plot about what you're doing. But when you hear a different tone of voice coming in, and the grammar, the words that are used are different from your own natural everyday vocabulary, you know that is an influence that's there from spirit as well. When you're doing the reading, when you're doing the demonstration, you do become aware of that. But sometimes it can be objective. So that's how it was for me to begin with. I heard spirit people speak to me as clearly as you can hear me now. And it was strange, it was shocking. I wasn't aware of what that was at the time. I didn't at that stage. I didn't know what mediumship was. But they start speaking and get my attention, and that's how they got me. That's how I became aware of them. And it's like it whispers into your ear, or sometimes it's full blown tone of voice in the opposite side of the room speaking to you. I've got to a point of last year in my development where I'm literally repeating what I'm hearing, and that's turned out to be evidential. Family names, places belonging to them, and memories, things that happened and when they were alive, but also what is evidential, what's important within mediumship, proof of survival. So they need to give you evidence then of what's happened in their family's life, in the recipient's life, since this communicator has passed. That is vital. Otherwise, it's not evidential mediumship. Um, so what events have happened, what's going on in the person's life at the moment, and those things are what make mediumship evidential and shows a proof of survival of what we call death. It's a transition in life. So that's just a little brief explanation between a psychic, everything to do with the physical world that's there, still using the same senses but only on this physical level, and then what mediumship is, and that aspect. So any questions, just drop a comment, like, share the page, and be back to you again.